January 1, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issues the Emancipation Proclamation, initiating a series of historic developments which eventually abolished slavery in the United States. July 2, 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson signs the Civil Rights Act into law, ending the era of Jim Crow, breaking down racial barriers which culminate in the near fulfillment of Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream. June 24, 2022, the United States Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, enabling the several states to pursue the abolition of abortion in America. Countless millions of our most innocent and helpless young will now be spared barbaric deaths and callous disregard. It stands as the greatest achievement in human liberty to date, but the work is far from over. My name's Walter Hudson, and I'm running for state representative in northeastern Wright County, representing Rockford Township, Hanover, St. Michael, Albertville, and much of Otsego. Today, we got the news, the fantastic news, glory to God, that the United States Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade. And as a result, we here in the several states now have the ability to pursue with all of the vigor that we ought to, the protection of life in the womb. We're going to do so. I want to share with you a little bit of my journey on this issue and how it is that I came to be 100% pro-life. I had a fairly devil-may-care, what business is it of mine attitude, libertine attitude towards whether or not people chose to end their pregnancies, as it's euphemistically described. What brought me around was actually rather random. One night I was surfing around on the internet and came across a live internet radio show. And it was very obscure. It was just a gal who had an account on a website somewhere where you could broadcast audio. And the focus of her show was just entirely talking about abortion. That was all she talked about, week in, week out, day after day, which I thought was interesting. And so I gave it a listen. And she had a guy call into her show. And the two of them got into a discussion. It wasn't an argument. There wasn't shouting. There wasn't yelling. It was a legitimate, intellectual, point by point, back and forth regarding the merits of abortion and the merits of the two positions on the issue, pro-life and pro-choice. And as I listened to them, as I heard the case for the pro-choice position laid out, it became increasingly evident that the entirety of the position, the whole thing, boiled down to, I don't want to have a child and therefore ought to be able to kill it. That's it. Everything else is a red herring. The tragedies of rape and incest are offered up as if they're relevant to the debate, but in actuality, they account for less than 1% of abortion procedures committed in this country. If we're going to really talk about the issue seriously, then we have to talk about the fact that it is used as a form of elective birth control. In other words, it is used to terminate a healthy pregnancy in a healthy woman who is not endangered because she simply does not want to have a child at this time. And so the question becomes whether or not wanting a child is a reason to kill it. And that's a pretty simple moral question that takes me about half a second to come to a decisive, conclusive, and unwavering answer on. When I am elected as your state representative, I will work tirelessly to abolish abortion in the state of Minnesota. We're going to get it done for the same reasons that we freed the slaves and ended Jim Crow, because human dignity, human worth, human life simply must be protected. That is the singular reason for which government exists. And I'm going to ensure that we fulfill that moral purpose. HudsonForMN.com. Check it out. Help us out. Your $50 contribution per individual or $100 contribution per couple can be refunded by the state. We'll send you a receipt. We'll send you the application. You turn it in. You get your money back. Help us protect babies in Minnesota. Thank you.